Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of DTH Lists. Now, if you never watched a DTH list, this is our separate show from reviews where we compile lists of stuff that we want to talk about. So welcome back to DTH Lists. We don't do these very frequently. We only do these on very specific topics that we really think would make for good talking, or for good conversation, or something along those lines. And today we are doing most anticipated lists after the announcement of like a million games at E3.
So yeah, I think I said to you and to myself, like, let's not put any real limitations on this. Like, it's not just 2014. It can go into 2015. It can go into 2016. I don't really care. For me, at least, I didn't, for the most part, put like remastered games on my list. For the most part, there may be one that is snuck in there. So like Grand Theft Auto 5, Last of Us HD, like those are both amazing games from last year, and I really look forward to them, but I just didn't put them on here just because I wanted to give some other games, you know, their due. And I didn't put anything that is like really super far away, like the next Mass Effect game, which technically was shown and announced, but like I don't even know what that is. So that's basically, for me, the majority of the games on this list are sort of in the next year, it looks like, judging by the sort of release schedule. It's like from now until next May, basically, is when my game.
I've kind of followed that rule as well. Kind of. Cool.
Yeah. We didn't put indie games on our lists for similar reasons, I think, because they sort of just come out of nowhere and are surprising and great, and I don't really pay attention to them. They sort of just
I agree.
become. And I didn't put anything Nintendo related on my list because I don't own a Wii U right now, but I think Nintendo has some really cool stuff coming. Like, if I had a Wii U, Splatoon would be on my list because that game looks amazing.
Splatoon looks awesome.
So yeah, like if you're screaming about the lack of Nintendo, it's just because I can't get excited about them at the moment because I don't own their consoles, but I think there's some, maybe buying a Wii U next year is not a bad idea.
Yeah,
so.
I think that about covers it.
Don't get mad. Please don't hate.
Covering our bases, yeah.
So take it away.
Okay.
We're going to do the back and forth. You're going to say one, I'm going to say one. And then, yeah, we'll go all the way to number 1.
My number 10, starting off with Far Cry 4. Now, we've discussed a lot of these games in our E3 coverage. I'm pretty sure that came out before this episode.
Definitely.
So we have talked about a lot of these, but if you didn't want to watch the E3 video, we'll give our thoughts again. I'm a big fan of Far Cry 3. I actually really liked Far Cry 2 as well, but obviously 3 really pushed the franchise to new levels. It's probably my favourite game that Ubisoft has brought out, maybe ever. I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed series, but there was something about Far Cry 3 that really drew me in, and I can't be specific and put my finger on it. I just really like the overall package. I liked the story of the third one. I really like the combat, and 4 just kind of looks like the same, but ramped up to the max, to be honest with you. It looks like 3, but with better weapons, crazier combats, and there's an elephant that can tip cars. So,
yep.
What's more to say, really? An elephant's going to tip a car. I mean, I'm in. I really am in.
I have Far Cry 4 on my list. I'll talk about it in a minute or two. Yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, my number 10, it's Assassin's Creed Unity. Now,
okay.
A big part of why I'm excited for this is the setting. I like unique settings and I like history, and the setting for this is looking to be really, really cool. Especially because it's next-gen, new consoles only, so it looks just like visually spectacular. But I also did reading up on it. Before I put it on this list, I read up and watched some demos to make sure it wasn't exactly like the previous Assassin's Creed games. And it sounds like they are offering a lot more variety, and they are not putting the ridiculously, horribly, goddamn awful instant fail parameters on. No, they're getting rid of the fail parameters, and
yeah, they're annoying.
The example they showed was like, you maybe have to tail someone, but you can just abandon it and get the information through other means. So it's not going to be like, oh, you didn't say stay 10 feet away from this person, you failed. So it seems like they're definitely they're going out of their way to make it so that you don't get those fail states. Which honestly, that's really the biggest thing that's wrong with Assassin's Creed, I think, because everything else about it is pretty great. And so Unity just looks like more Assassin's Creed in a cool setting with some new parkour and lots of crowds, and yeah, it just looks really good. And I was sort of not sure about it until they showed it, and then I found out that they're offering more variety, and yeah, I really look forward to it, mainly for the setting.
Yeah, I do look forward to the new Assassin's Creed as well. I'm just very apprehensive to be too excited about Assassin's Creed after putting like 100 and something hours into the franchise by now after these 7 games. So at E3 they showed that it looked much nicer and that you're going to be able to play with your friends. And, you know, I will play it, but I need a bit more convincing. But I do look forward to playing it.
For me, 4 proved to me that, like, Assassin's Creed is still cool. So I sort of hope they can pull off that again. But yeah. Anyways.
So my number 9 is actually going to be the only game on this list which didn't have gameplay shown for it. But it's a special game, and that's Uncharted 4. And I was very tempted not to put it on my list because we haven't seen any gameplay of it. But it's just a franchise that I care about so much that it wasn't on my list, and I just felt really bad about it. Like, I just couldn't do it. So it is pretty relatively low down on my list for my love of the franchise and what Naughty Dog can deliver. But it's just because they haven't shown any gameplay yet. And the gameplay will probably be the same. It's going to be... I shouldn't say it's going to be amazing, because you should never say that. But it's Naughty Dog, and they don't let us down. So it's Uncharted. I love Uncharted. I love the games. I love the franchises. So I had to put it on my list. But I haven't got anything to say on it because we haven't seen any gameplay. But damn, that was a sexy trailer they showed at E3.
Yep.
My God,
yeah.
That was beautiful.
It really was, yeah. It's not on my list, but yes, I am super excited to play Uncharted 4. I do hope they maybe mix it up a little bit gameplay-wise. I'm not sure what that means, but I felt like there was a lot of shooting in 3, maybe too much, and it'd be cool if they could make more exploration type stuff. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. Naughty Dog hasn't really made a bad game in a very long time, so yeah. And that trailer, goddamn, holy shit.
Goddamn, yeah.
Okay, my number 9 is Alien Isolation. Now, this was barely even on this list because I so don't want to play it. It looks so scary. I'm going to be so terrified playing it.
It's okay, man.
I'm not a horror fan, but I'm a big fan of Alien.
Yeah.
And everything they've shown looks really, really good. I'm not even sure what type of game it is, but it just... They are saying all the right things. And yeah, I don't have much to say. I don't have much to say about it because I don't know a lot about it, and I sort of want to keep it that way. Yeah, it just looks really, really neat, and it looks really scary. So I almost took it off this list, but yeah, it looks really good.
I think it looks really scary, like really scary. I think they're from the look of it, I think it looks absolutely incredible. I think they're gonna replicate the environments and the atmosphere of the original Alien film really well. I think it's going to be a pretty unique horror. I mean, there's been some horror games where there is a single monster tracking you down, but it's going to be the infamous Alien, which is going to be really nice. I'm looking forward to the references of the incredible film, and man, it's looking really nice, and I'm a big horror fan, so I'm really looking forward to it, because it looks scary. It looks really scary.
Yeah, it looks really scary.
Okay, so my number 8 is Dying Light.
Cool.
Now, I'm a big fan of the Dead Island series. I played through the first one. I really enjoyed Riptide. They are ugly games, though. They are very ugly games. But I really enjoyed the gameplay nevertheless. I really enjoyed kicking zombies in the face and just kind of walking around this kind of open world. And I feel like Dying Light is just the next-gen version of Dead Island. It looks very similar. But they've just ramped up everything. The movement looks better. They've got a nice parkour system going on. The combat looks really brutal. And it looks like they've introduced a new horror element.
Yeah, the nighttime stuff looks really neat. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lot of my favourite things combined into one package, which is open world, kicking zombies in the face, climbing up stuff, and a bit of horror. So everything in the game is kind of to my liking. So I'm hoping that the package is good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's looking really good. As someone that did not care for Dead Island, it's looking sharp. The parkour stuff, I like that parkour is sort of just becoming like a very common sort of next-gen thing that they're adding to games, but it's great. It
is, yeah.
More movement freedom makes everything better, basically, and the nighttime stuff is really cool that they sort of turn it all into like a sort of almost survival horror type thing at nighttime is neat. And yeah, it looks like the logical evolution to Dead Island. Dead Island had a neat foundation, and this looks like it's building on that in some really cool ways. So yeah, I am excited for it as well. I think that's out February or something. So here's hoping. Yeah.
Yeah, 2015.
That was number 8, right? So my number 8.
Correct.
My number 8 is The Witness. Okay. The Witness is the next game by the guy that made Braid. I mean, his company. I think he's got more people working on it now. It's a puzzle game, I think. I don't know a lot about it. Again, sort of deliberately. But it's a puzzle game, and it's sort of an exploration game, and there's a story. And it looks a lot like it's taken some inspirations from Myst, the old 90s PC game. And Myst was one of the first games I ever played. And it holds a special place in my heart, and it looks sort of like that, but with, puzzles. And I know that, I mean, Braid had amazing puzzles and amazing story, and I suspect this will have similar things to it. So it's one of those things that I'm deliberately not paying a lot of attention to, just because I know I'm going to buy it, I know I'm going to play it, and I know I'm probably going to like it a lot. And I just really look forward to it. I was disappointed that it didn't show up anywhere at E3, though.
Yeah,
so I have no idea. I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year. They've been working on it for a long time. I mean, I think it was announced like 3+ years ago. So I hope it comes out soon, because it's looking great. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either. I'm kind of keeping myself in the dark. But yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Right, we're on to number 7. My number 7 is The Evil Within, which didn't actually have much of an appearance at E3, but it is a standalone console horror games, which are pretty rare nowadays. I mean, there is countless indie horror games on the PC, like almost too many to play, but standalone, like big AAA horror games don't come along very often. And The Evil Within has actually had a bit of a rocky reception from the demos that people have been playing. People have been saying that it feels a bit disjointed and they don't really know what's going on. So I am really nervous about the way it's going. There was another demo that came out and the reception was a little bit more positive. But I just, I like my horrors, so I can't help but get excited for a standalone console horror game. And just from the footage that's been shown, I think it's good. It's third person, it looks really scary, really creepy. I just hope that it delivers and that these initial negative comments kind of get fixed before the game is released. Because, was it delayed? Or am I just getting confused with every other game?
No, it did get delayed. It was going to come out in August, and now it's coming out in October, which is a terrible spot to put a game like that, I think.
Yeah, guys.
It's like, hey, you want to go and die? Okay, let's delay you to right before Halloween when every other game in the world is coming out. That's too bad. Oh, well.
But it's a standalone horror game. I'm a horror fan, so I'm just fingers crossed that it turns out well. I really hope it does.
Yeah, definitely. I never want any game to turn out bad, that's for sure.
That is true.
And yeah, you're right. Standalone, big sort of Resident Evil type, genuine horror games are few and far between, yeah. My number 7 is probably like the best announcement from E3, but it's the Halo Master Chief Collection. I have it at number 7. I have it low just because I know what all those games are. I've played a whole lot of all of them, and I just put it lower on this list because I just wanted to put other things higher up. But I am extraordinarily excited to get Halo back in people's hands and have people excited about it again and be able to play it with other people. It's a crazy good bundle, and it's insane that it's actually real. And I'm really curious to see what Halo's like, especially Halo 3, which I know the most. Curious to see what that's like at 1080p, 60 frames per second, and I'm excited to be able to replay Halo 2's campaign, which I do enjoy quite a bit, for the most part, in good proper graphics, because Halo 2 I would say has aged the worst of all of the Halo games, just in terms of visuals. Sort of like Halo 1 is at that time where they knew they couldn't do a whole lot with graphics, so everything's flat and simple. And then Halo 2, they're like, no, we can really push these things, and it gets sort of grungy, and I'm excited to be able to replay it in nice, fancy graphics. And
me too,
it's a crazy bundle, and I mean,
it really is.
It's on here because I love Halo, and yeah, it's super exciting that it's going to be back. The good Halo games are going to be back, except for, I wish it was all the Halo games bundled together because ODST is so good, but that's okay. That's another.
Yeah.
I mean, it even has Halo 3 in the title. They could have just. Oh man. Oh well. But yeah, Master Chief Collection, crazy. It's insane.
It is going to be crazy. My hype for it is pretty damn. It's high. It's really high. I can't wait to play Halo 2 Anniversary. I was excited for Halo 2 Anniversary just on its own, standalone. Let alone the fact that they bundled it with a remastering of, you know, the Halo CE Anniversary, and we've got Halo 3 in 1080p, 60 frames. I can't wait to play all those 3 games again. Everyone knows that we're Halo fans. This is kind of what the whole channel was founded on.
Yeah,
we're Halo
basically.
fanboys, and I'm going to be playing a lot of Halo 2, a lot of Halo 3 when that comes out. And I don't really get excited about multiplayer games very often. Actually, I'm not really excited about any, except for Halo the Master Chief Collection. So it's always nice to have a multiplayer game to be excited about. And goddamn, Halo's the best one I've ever played, so can't wait. So
number 6.
Okay, so my number 6 is Batman Arkham Knight. They showed it off at the Sony conference. It was just what I wanted, which is they've kept the format of the old games, which is City and Arkham Asylum. And it's just the flying around the city. You're in a Batmobile. He's doing his same stuff. He's kicking people in the face, but it looks amazing. Jesus Christ, the game looks so sharp. It's the same format that we know and love from the Arkham series, and I can't wait to dive into it. I haven't played Origins yet. I've kind of avoided it. And now that I know that Knight is coming out, I'm kind of even less tempted to go back and catch up with Origins. I might just leave it as the trilogy. Yeah, fuck. Okay. I might just leave it as a trilogy. But yeah, we haven't seen that much of Knight, so you can't go into it too much. But it's going to get the Scarecrow, which is an awesome villain. And it's going to be an Arkham game, which the first 2 are some of the best games that are available on all the platforms. So, God, I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I agree. My number 6. My number 6 is Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, as a recent purchaser of an Xbox One, I am excited to play something new and exciting that isn't Forza or Rise or Dead Rising or Halo. It just looks like they are going out of their way to make it a fun to play game, which means a lot. I think it's very rare for those things to come up nowadays, I feel like. And it just looks, it's colorful, it's silly, it's fast, it looks like a ton of fun to play, and I'm really excited for it. Insomniac, for the most part, makes pretty good games, and this looks like it's going to be a pretty good game. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. It just looks like a ton of fun.
It definitely looks like one of the main reasons to pick up an Xbox One right about now. It does look like a hell of a good time. And yeah, if I have an Xbox One at the time of release, which I really hope I do, I'm also really looking forward to Sunset Overdrive. It looks mental, dumb, and fun, and goddamn, it looks like a good time and I want to give it a go. But moving on, number 5. My number 5 is Halo the Master Chief Collection. We talked about this when you bring it up on your list. Not much more to say. We are massive Halo fans. I put a ridiculous amount of time into Halo 3. And I didn't put as much time into Halo 2 multiplayer because I didn't actually have an Xbox. I went round my friend's house and we played it split screen for like a whole summer. So I can't wait to actually fully invest some good time into the Halo 2 multiplayer, try and get good at it, and yeah, that's basically, we've summed it up. We're massive Halo fans, and I can't wait. Absolutely can't wait.
So my top 5, I have the next 2 are 2014 games, and then my top 3 are not 2014 games, which is sort of interesting. I didn't do that deliberately. That's just how it came out. So number 5 is technically my second most anticipated game of 2014. What year is it? Far Cry 4.
Cool.
I really, really liked Far Cry 3 a lot. I thought the world and gameplay was some of the best. Maybe the best first-person shooter, like open world thing I've played. It's maybe Ubisoft's best game as well. The story wasn't very good, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. That was just like a pure gameplay game that was fun to play. It was, and 4 looks like they are making another Far Cry 3, but with more crazy in it. You know, you can jump off a cliff and wingsuit, and there are elephants, and it's in the Himalayas, and yeah, it just looks like a ton of fun to play. And it's coming out this year, and it's nice to have something that looks really, really sharp coming out this year. And yeah, so Far Cry 4, we've talked about it. Looks a lot like Far Cry 3, but that's okay by me. The setting and the world and the gameplay is all I need to be good, and it's looking really, really sharp.
Oh yeah. So my number 4 is No Man's Sky. Now, the E3 demo that they showed this year, it was in the Sony conference, wasn't it? Sony conference, right?
Yeah.
It already looked amazing before we saw this demo. The art looked incredible. The world and the different planets you could explore just looked stunning. But what really blew me away about this demo was the way that you could just seamlessly transition between planets in your spaceship without there any loading screens. And that was something I've never seen in a game before, and it really was just kind of surprising technology-wise how they can just kind of leave the atmosphere of this planet and just dive into the next one so just seamlessly. And it was just, I don't know, there was something about it which was really different, really new, and it just doesn't look anything like an indie game. I can't believe that there's a small company working on something like this. It just looks massive in scale, and there's a lot of potential behind it. I'm hoping that the procedurally generated elements turn out well, and that there's a lot of variety in the planets, and that it's fun to explore for a long time. But yeah, it was just that specific demo in the Sony conference really boosted up my list, and the way that you can just fly around these solar systems and just pop into wherever you want. Wow, God, I can't wait to start exploring. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, if they pull it off, it's going to be incredible. And there's definitely big questions about a lot of things, but I don't really care. What I've seen blew me away. And yeah, I mean, even if it's just, if the only thing you do in that game is you just explore planets, I would be okay with that, even though I think there is more to it. And yeah, the procedural generation of everything in the game, to my understanding, is like the computer just follows the programming and creates the art and everything, which is kind of crazy. And there's also like ecosystems that follow the planets, that, you know, like those dinosaurs in the demo are there because of the planet and its location and its atmosphere and its geology and all those things, which is just, it's crazy. Like everything about it is awesome. Crazy. And yeah, it's on my list soon. It looks incredible. Yeah, that's basically it. Number 4. My number 4 is Destiny, which also means it's the most anticipated game for 2014, basically.
Cool. Yeah.
So up until last week, Destiny would have been like number 7 or 8, I would say.
I'd agree. Yeah.
And mainly it was there mainly because I trust in Bungie. But now, after playing the alpha, it really helped me understand. I mean, I knew what it was, even though they've done such a poor job of advertising it. I know what the different things are in it, but seeing it all there and playing it and understanding how it feels, I am really excited for it. I every year or so get that itch for another loot game. I have spent a lot of time playing Borderlands 2 and really like it, and this seems like a really cool mix of, you know, some MMO type things with like the hub world, crazy amounts of loot, because they have not just weapons, they have all sorts of armor slots and vehicles, and really fun shooting. I was really surprised by how much fun it is just to play. And even alone it's fun, but it's enhanced substantially by playing with other people. And I mean, that alpha, I played the same mission several times with different people, and it was a ton of fun each time. So yeah, I am super, super excited to play Destiny. And if the final game is just the alpha, but with a ton of more stuff to do, which it seemingly will be that, it's going to be pretty great. And it was nice to get back in a Bungie game, because there are little things that, as someone that has spent a lot of time playing Bungie games, there are little things that you notice and like, yes, they know what they're doing, you know. And it was just, it's comforting to know that they still know what they're doing, and that Destiny is going to be a big, crazy game, that they are putting a lot into it. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm glad it's out soon, and it's out before everything else. Like basically September is just Destiny, so that's good. It's just give me a month to play it, and yeah, I'm so excited for it. And it is definitely something that needs to be played to be properly understood, I think.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, definitely, I agree. Because I'm the same as you. My hype for it has been raised substantially since playing the alpha. Not only does it look better than I thought it was going to do, even though I've seen videos of it, when you're actually in the setting and you can take your time to just look around and observe things, wow, the game looks amazing. The shooting feels way better than I expected. I don't know why I say that, because Bungie always they always make the game feel fun to play combat-wise, but I was very surprised about how quickly I jumped in and adjusted to the combat, and how it was like I was like 10 minutes into it and I already felt pretty fluent with the controls. I was double jumping around and just having a really good time with it, and I felt like I'd played it before, even though it was a relatively new feeling experience. And to me it really feels like Borderlands and Halo had a love baby, and I love both those games, and it's been great, and that's the reason it's number 3 on my list.
Cool.
Number 3 is Destiny, and we've had a great time in the alpha. We'll be playing more before it expires, and the alpha, God, it's just been a great time. Feels great to play, looks great, and I just want to explore everywhere now. I can't wait for it to be out.
And I just want to get loot. I want all the loot.
I want all the loot.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm a little worried actually about potential time loss. Yeah, in September. Yeah. It's looking so good. Yeah. Okay, so that's your number 3. That's my number 3. Cool. My number 3 is Batman: Arkham Knight. When we did our top 10 games of the generation, Arkham City was on there. I think both Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are spectacular games, both combat-wise and world-wise and story-wise. I think it's all fantastic. And Arkham Knight is just looking like one last big, awesome Batman game before Rocksteady moves on to other things. And I played a few hours of Origins, Batman, I don't even know what this is, Batman Arkham Origins, and it didn't do anything for me, which I think is because it didn't have that Rocksteady touch. Something felt off about it. And yeah, that demo from Sony's conference, god damn it, looks so good. Like the jumping out of the Batmobile and just flying around the city, and like visually spectacular, and I know the combat will be great and the story will be pretty cool. And yeah, Scarecrow's a great villain. They can do really neat stuff with Scarecrow's mind trip levels, and yeah, I'm totally bummed that it got pushed to 2015, but at the same time, take your time, make it amazing. And if it's anywhere near as good as Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, which it probably will be, it's gonna be a hell of a game. So yeah,
it is.
I can't wait for it.
Okay, so my number 2, now this might be a little bit surprising, but when it came to the top 4, I was pretty stuck. So I would say that my number 2 is definitely on par with Destiny or No Man's Sky. These 3 are kind of on par with each other, so I put them in this order just because it's what I'm currently like. I've played Destiny, I've seen the demo No Man's Sky, but this game I'm like, ugh, I want more and I want to play it now, and that's LittleBigPlanet 3.
Oh.
So, I know, you probably weren't expecting that, but I am a massive fan of the LittleBigPlanet franchise. I played... LittleBigPlanet 2 was the first game I had on my PS3.
Yeah, same with me.
It was the first game I played with all my friends, and it was always the game I got out when people were around that weren't really into video games. People who don't really play video games, I would just pass them the controller, and everyone I knew could get into LittleBigPlanet 3. And the content creation was just insane. I don't think I even completed the campaign on some of these games. I can't even remember. I think I was just so invested in playing the crazy maps that people would come up with. I've never seen such a creative community. It was honestly bonkers what the people were doing and how much time people were investing into their levels. It was just like something I'd never played before. And I'm looking forward to a next-gen version. I can't wait to play more of LittleBigPlanet. And I'm really looking forward to what a new addition to the franchise can do. And to me, LittleBigPlanet just feels like an endless game. It feels like I'm just getting unlimited content for my money, and that's why I put it so high up on my list. Just because I feel like this is a game that when I buy it, I'm going to play it for like 4 years.
Yeah.
It's just unlimited content, and I can't wait to have some goofy fun with LittleBigPlanet again.
Yeah, it looks. LittleBigPlanet 2. LittleBigPlanet 2 was the first, and it was only. I mean, I played some of LittleBigPlanet 1, but 2 was the first one I played, and I played through the campaign, and it's so nice. It's just such a nice game. I love it. Yeah, it's fun to play, and it's amazing to look at and listen to, and the content creation is insane. And I was really genuinely surprised. Well, I wasn't I was surprised that they were doing a third one, and I was really excited that they were doing a third one, and that's coming out this November, I guess, apparently, which is great. I am ready for another LittleBigPlanet game. I'm ready for more cute, wonderful LittleBigPlanet levels. Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
LittleBigPlanet's great. I love that it exists. Number 2. My number 2 is No Man's Sky, which we've talked about. Yeah, I don't know. It's looking insane. And the only reason it's not my number 1 is because there are big questions about if they can pull it off and what you do in it. But if I knew more about it, it would probably be number 1. But it's looking spectacular, and I've said it before. If they pull it off, it'll be incredible, I think. Like, why would you ever need to play a game again in this never-ending, infinitely generated universe? Like, I don't even... it's crazy. It's
mad, yeah.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I hope it is not as far off as... I hope it's not, like, next fall or something. So, I hope it's closer than I think. Yeah, I'm super excited for it. That's all. We've talked about it.
It's going to be awesome. Okay, so my number 1, as of now, obviously this list is subject to change as new information is released about this game, but my number 1 most hyped as of now is Alien Isolation.
Cool.
Yeah, as I said going through this list, I'm a huge horror fan. I absolutely love the genre, and as I said when I was talking about The Evil Within, you don't get standalone console-based horror games very often, especially AAA games, so I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise, well, 1 and 2. Alien and Aliens, I should say, especially the first film. It's a magnificent film, and there's been so many shit Alien games that have come out, and I can't wait for one to hopefully redeem the series, and there is so much potential. I'm so worried. I really hope it's amazing, because if they can replicate the horror and the, the environment and the atmosphere that I'm hoping they can, this is going to be a really, really special game and a terrifying experience. And I'm just crossing my fingers right now that this is everything that I hope it can be and it will be. But we'll have to see. The trailers are looking very, very promising. It looks really nice. And hopefully it's going to scare the shit out of me, because that's what I like. I like being scared. Don't ask me why. I'm weird, but I can't wait. Absolutely can't wait.
It's looking really good. Yeah, and it's definitely... I mean, everything they're saying about it is the right thing. And it's the right thing to do. Like, take the single alien horror survival type feel of the first movie and make it into a game, especially now, because those type of games are doing really well. Those sort of survival horror type games are pretty popular now, and it looks really scary, man. I'm scared. I don't even want to think about it too much. I mean, the original Alien movie is still it's frightening. Like, that original movie is still I watched it recently, and it holds up, and it is still unpleasant and scary, and like this sort of weird, horrible nightmare. Yeah, I hope it's great, because it will be really, really special if they pull it off, which I think they will. So, my number 1 is The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. I knew it was coming. Yeah. Now, the reason it's number 1 is because I am very confident in the developers and their ability to pull it off, because The Witcher 2 was spectacular, and it was such an improvement over The Witcher 1, and I suspect they will do that same level of improvement. And, like I said, No Man's Sky, I have a lot of questions about what it is and if they can pull it off. The Witcher 3, I don't have questions about it. I know what it is, and I know that they can pull it off. And, yeah, man, I don't know. I really liked The Witcher 2 quite a bit. I thought it was pretty excellent. I don't even really like fantasy anything, so it's weird to have this at the very top of my list, but it has a different type of feel, the fantasy in it. It's sort of darker. It doesn't feel like typical North American fantasy, if that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, and I mean, the open world and the visuals and the quality of everything just looks amazing. And so that's coming February, like 20 something, and I cannot wait for it. It's on here, like I said, because I know it's going to be good, and I can't wait for it. It looks, everything they show of it, every time they put out a trailer, a screenshot, anything, it just looks amazing. And yeah, so that's The Witcher 3. I think it's going to be pretty incredible.
I think it's looking absolutely stunning. I think it's one of the best games graphically that I've seen at any of the shows. I think it looks just breathtaking to look at. The reason it's not on my list is just because I have yet to properly experience The Witcher. I gave The Witcher 2 a go, but goddamn, it's difficult. It's a challenging game, and I got halted by the game early on because I was crap at it, and then I got distracted by other titles. But I do plan to go back and try and tackle The Witcher 2 before the third one comes out, because wow, the number 3 is looking... Whew! Man, it's looking good.
It really is. It really is looking spectacular.
The Witcher is on my to-do list. Definitely. I need to get through The Witcher 2 so that I'm ready for The Witcher 3, because the game's looking hot, man.
So, yeah, that's most anticipated. I think 2014 is looking pretty good, even though...
Yeah, me too.
I think a lot of the stuff, basically everything coming out in 2014 is fairly familiar, fairly known, but that's okay. Like, even things that aren't on my list, like Evolve looks really cool. Even Call of Duty is looking really cool this year. Like, I almost put it on this list because it's looking really sharp. And 2014 is looking great, but 2015, I mean, just the things coming in the first half of 2015 alone, it's going to be pretty epic. I mean,
it's going to be a solid year.
Between Batman and The Witcher and No Man's Sky and Uncharted and The Order and a huge number of other things, yeah, 2015's looking really good. But yeah, this E3 was, you know, sort of bring it back to the last couple of weeks. E3's been happening and it's over now, but video games, man, they're cool again. Every year, it's like, oh yeah, I like games. Yeah, they're neat. I am excited to play some. Yeah.
It was a good show. It was a good show, and yeah, I think that about sums up our most anticipated list. It's very, very opinionated and subjective. Obviously, this is going to differ between people. We didn't forget anything. I don't want any comments saying where's the Division or where's blah blah. We watched E3, watched them all. We saw everything. This is our opinions. This is our list. If it's not on our list, it's because we're not as excited as we are as the top 10. So yeah, that rounds it up. Those are our top 10 most anticipated games of the coming years. Feel free to place your opinions down in the comments of what you are most looking forward to. But that's it. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.